All right. Ken Gishinga.
Thank you.
A round of applause. That's why we should actually have, think about a live audience.
Ah, yes.
One of these days. That would be awesome, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that when you've done such a heavy presentation, we appreciate you for a job well done. Yeah?
Great.
Prof, before you go, he set the bar, yeah? Sometimes he set this bar high, low, depending on the consumption.
Very high.
Very high, yeah? Yeah, but that is Ken Gishinga's tech. And now we want to have Dr. Tobias Ollweny's tech in regards to what 2024 portends for Kenya's economy. Dr. just walk here. Oh, you wanted to greet me. You guys still greet me. I don't mind. There you go.
Yes.
Just stand there. You can move in a little bit. Just move in a little bit. Thank you very much. There you go. Okay, beautiful. So let's have the projections for Dr. Tobias in regards to his key focus areas. The floor is yours, Dr.
Thank you, Noah. I will start from where Ken left. That's about the energy and fuel cost.
Okay.
This is going to be very defining to our nation in 2024 in terms of the energy first. When we talk about energy, we are talking about the power. Already, as you have seen, I think it must have been true yesterday actually, that the power electricity prices are likely to increase by about 16.5 to about 13 in some cases %. That is key in terms of production because everything depends on electricity, especially in the industry, to produce. So that is very critical, how we are going to manage that cost to ensure that we don't disrupt the industry in terms of production. The other issue is the fuel cost, and sustainability of the pump prices in Kenya is going to be very critical for us because as Ken has put it also, there is the global perspective, but there is what we can do from our level in terms of how we answer to what are we charging on the fuel cost once it has landed to our country. So that's going to be a key area. When managed properly, we will be okay. But when not managed properly, then we will actually see challenges in terms of our economy and progression. So next, the second key area is digitization. Of course, there is the hope that we are going to get the informal sector in terms of bringing in taxes if we do digitization. If we do it well, then we will actually be able to get the informal sector in terms of bringing in taxes, and we'll widen the tax base so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have more taxes. Again, digitization in terms of the free visa will actually be very critical. As you realize, tourism is our foreign exchange earner, and of course, one of the best. So if this digitization succeeds in terms of the free visa, we have many people visiting our country. Of course, they will be able to bring in some dollars, some other currencies, and we'll actually be doing better in terms of our economy. But if we don't get it right, then we might be having some challenges that we'll face. So that is one of the critical issues. Next. The other key area that we must attend to is agriculture. Last year, we were barely feeding ourselves. And I think in the last year, but one also, we were barely feeding ourselves. We were getting food that is coming from Tanzania, coming from, we were even thinking in terms of Malawi. So this year, we need to think how we can feed the nation, our country. How are we going to feed this nation in terms of agriculture, in terms of the rain-fed, or in terms of non-rain-fed approaches? Also, let's focus on the coffee and tea reforms, because those ones are the ones that are going to help us to increase our foreign exchange and probably move us out of this quagmire that we are into, especially the issue of the dollar and the shilling. When we actually do attend to these reforms, it will be okay. But if we get it wrong, then we will still continue. The sugar sector, to say the least, should also be looked into in terms of the revival of those sector. So that's one of the areas that we need to pay attention to. Number 4 is trade, but this is trade together with manufacturing. So the first part, when we look at trade, let's look at what is our current balance of trade. I think we are doing something like minus 847 billion dollar US billions there. That's actually doing poorly. We need to improve in terms of our balance of trade so that we can actually be able to catch up with this currency situation that we fall in. What's our balance of payment? How are we doing in terms of balance of payment? That will actually be very critical to improve on that. So in terms of trade, the best way to do it again is also to ensure that you encourage the foreigners, foreign direct investment, so that they set up farms here and we are able to get employment, and we are also able to attract foreign direct investment. So that's very critical for us. I think there's the other part of manufacturing that should actually come forth. What are we doing to enhance our local manufacturing? What is the status? How are our manufacturers finding it? Are they competitive enough? What is making us not to be competitive in terms of manufacturing? Can we eliminate the things that are making our products or our manufacturing not to be competitive? Again, let's look at them in terms of the policy, the ease to do business. This, when we get it right, then we'll actually be better off. But if we don't, then we will be where we were, and probably worse. So these are some of the things that we need to attend to. In general, let's ensure that we have managed the situation, particularly of capital flight, so that we are able to control the circumstances around us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tobias Ollweny. Hey, you've done well.
Thank you.
How is that? How does it feel to be a news presenter?
It's good. It's called for focus and, you know, keeping.
And when you take cricket biscuits, it calms you down. You know?
No, you're spoiled.
Very interesting text right there. First of all, Ken, let's react to some of the tenets that have been highlighted by Dr. Tobias. Now, of course, there's the commonality on the issue of energy, fuel specifically, but digitization. And I know he mentioned the issue of free visa, which we've seen sort of a double tech, sort of a double-edged sword, because the people feel, yes, it's a good thing, but again, I mean, these waiting times, some of these challenges that could be done away with. From where you sit, this element of digital superhighway, how can it be utilized to the maximum of its capacity to make 2024 a better year for Kenyans?
I think digitization and broader technology can be a game changer in terms of particularly spaces where there has been a lot of manual interaction, a lot of revenue leakage. Digitization has the ability to not only bring speed, but also to bring efficiency in terms of revenue collection. In fact, we are seeing the counties, like Nairobi County, I think, have said everything now will be on digital.